Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube video. In this video, I'm gonna share about something where you are being judged even before entering the room. Yes, I'm talking about the interviews that we all are facing currently or we might face in upcoming months, and you must be prepared for it, right? So let's jump into it. I'm pretty sure you are prepared for every possible questions. Tell me about yourself. You nailed it. Where do you see yourself in next 5 years? You got the perfect answer. But what if I told you that interview isn't just about giving the answers? It's something more than that. Well, what is this? It is the test of character and confidence that you are giving even without realizing. These are the subtle cues that hire me even before you get to your rehearsed, prepared answers and whatnot. So, first thing first, let's talk about the entrance or the lobby test. I call it a lobby test because your interview begins the moment you enter the office, which means you are being judged how you are talking to the receptionist, how you're talking to the peons, and how you are treating them. Are you treating them just like a gatekeepers or just like they're sitting there for your service? These are the things that actually are being noticed, and we don't know. They notice how warm and respectful you are while having the interaction with the receptionist or the peons because they are looking for a candidate who is genuinely good from heart and not just who is someone smart. Believe me, office managers have a great relationship with their front desk staff, so they often casually ask them, "How was the 2 p.m. candidate? Did you like him? Was he respectful to you? Was he approachable to you? Or what was he actually doing?" They ask every small details about you. Well, having good manners is something everyone can expect, right? And if you fail at that, my friend, you have to work hard for it. The second most important thing that you should keep in mind is that while you are waiting, you should not use your phone anxiously because it closes you off immediately. You should be a keen observer. You should go around the office and check what awards or certifications or whatever is there in the office. This actually shows that you're observant and you have a keen eye to everything in the office. If you're using your phone, it shows that you're anxious, you're nervous, and you're not very much approachable. And even you can use this as an icebreaker. For example, you might just go and say, "Hey, I just saw that award in the display. What was that? I would like to know more about it." Or you can just start talking about it. "Hey, that was very impressive," or whatever that is coming to your mind. Now we'll talk about the second phase, the handshake and the first 7 seconds. That is actually very crucial. I'm not going to talk about knocking the door properly, entering the room, don't sit before they ask you to sit. These are the things that we all know. So I'm going to talk about something different here. Well, when the interview approaches you to greet you, give him a firm handshake. It shouldn't be a fish limb or it shouldn't be a bone crusher because it's not going to work. It should be a firm handshake. Plus, if you are smiling and looking right into their eyes, that signals that you are confident and you have the warmth in you. Also, I'm going to share about something that I've learned during my soft skills class in my MBA classes. So, it was something that when you enter the room, you cannot keep your bag on the table. That is actually very unprofessional, and you cannot just go and stand there and keep your bag and stuff keeping your purse on the table. That is not very professional. What you can do is keep your bag beside your chair on the floor, and then maybe you can start your conversation. Also, if you're asked to show your resume or any other documents, you shouldn't be flipping pages from your folder. That is very unprofessional and it shows that you're very unorganized. You should keep your folder ready so that whenever they ask for a document, you just have to give it to them. And that actually shows that you're prepared and you're confident. A lot of interviews might not like when you are taking their space by keeping your bags or your accessories or whatever you have. Also, when you're talking, don't try to keep your hands on the table. Even if you are keeping, just keep it to yourself on the table. Don't just do it a lot towards them because that really pisses them off a lot of time. As you walk to the interview room, you have to bridge that awkward silence. Just start the conversation by saying "Thank you for having me," or even a small conversation, and keep smiling. It shouldn't look very weird that you're smiling ear to ear. It should be a normal, genuine smile that's coming from your heart so that they actually get comfortable with you. That works actually as an icebreaker. Now, the third phase comes, which is the energy audit, which means what energy you are giving to the interviewer. Well, while you are giving your interview, you should always be smiling and have a positive attitude. Even if you don't know something, just tell them that "I'm not aware of it and I'll definitely look into it." They'll be very happy because you're not making something up by yourself right there, sitting in front of the interviewer and pretending that you know the answers. That sucks. Also, if they tell you, for example, about some new project that they have just started, you cannot just say, "Oh, that's great." You should definitely make your conversations more engaging. You could say, oh, yeah, I've recently read about it and I would like to know more about it, that how this project started, what made you think about that situation that you just started with this project, that you came up with this project. You can start something like that. Just have an initial conversation with him about that project, basically. Now, here comes the most crucial part. Well, now you're in the chair and you're crafting your answers. The interviewer might be noting all the points that you're giving to them, and that awkward silence is there. I know why he's writing and you're waiting. So you cannot just blabber whatever is coming to your mind to fill those silent gaps. You cannot do that because that shows that you're very nervous and you're not confident enough. And that also shows that you're not sticking to what you just said. You cannot switch to things after saying it. Right at that moment, your body screams about you. It screams if you are nervous, if you're confident, if you are okay with the answers, if you're not okay with the answers. Before even speaking, your face says it all. Just try to engage with the interviewer. If he is leaning forward while talking, you should do that too. Well, here's a pro tip. Just do the subtle mirroring of the interviewer. If he's using his hands, you do that too. It isn't something that a creepy cat would do. It isn't something that. It's just you have to mirror the small moments so that they actually feel comfortable with you and they actually feel that you are someone they can approach to. It's about the subconsciously signaling, which means that I am on the same wavelength as you. I remember when I was giving my mock interview for my final placements, they asked me few of the things that I didn't know. And I was not actually pretending. I just said, yeah, I'll definitely look into it. I'll definitely work on it. And I was actually nodding and smiling actively. I was not like just sitting and being bored and not responding to them, and my hands were loose, my body was loose. That's not what actually I was doing. I was very stiff and I was smiling continuously. It should be like, I'll definitely look into it. Oh, wow, I didn't know about that. I'll definitely go and read it out at home. Just make it as easier as you can for them also, because I've heard somewhere that interviewer is as nervous as the interviewee because they both have to be prepared for it, right? Well, so if I talk about the silent gaps that I just mentioned during their noting and you sitting there without anything, you should not just talk about anything because that actually weakens your strong answers if you are just blabbering there and giving whatever that is coming to your mind. Also, it is a deliberate tactic that the interviewers use so that they can see how flustered you are or how nervous you are during this situation. So you should definitely not fall for it because this shows that you're meek, and just don't panic because these situations are deliberately made for you. You have to be confident. This shows that you're calm. Just take a deep breath and think about the answers that you just gave and be confident about it and stick to it. That's it. Your this calm silence actually communicates the incredible confidence that you have in you. Well, here the fifth phase comes, the departure. So the departure is as crucial as the first impression that you just made because this is your closing loop. You have to start talking in a way that you are closing this. When you stand to leave, shake their hands again and reference to something that you actually enjoyed during the conversation. For example, I really like the idea about the project that you just mentioned. I'm looking forward for the opportunity or whatever that is coming to your mind. Just talk about it that you had during the conversation. This actually shows that you are a keen listener, you are a good observant, and you were open while having the conversations. You were listening to everything, you were focusing to everything. So these are the small things that you should keep in mind. And even when you are leaving, you should have a positive energy in you so that they can actually remember once you leave. So there you have it. The silent signals that you are just giving is as important as your resume. You're not just a list of accomplishments. You are one of them. You are going to be their colleague. So you have to give them a reason to work with you. They should love you when they talk to you, and they should have the feeling that this guy or this girl might be a future candidate. Also, I would like to share few pro tips that I've learned during my MBA classes because they might help you as well. So the first thing is that if you're walking into a room, just don't be very lousy, and you should not be like, haunching your back. It should be stiff and you should be confident when you're walking the room. You should have a smile on your face and just don't enter the room without knocking the door. So that is one thing. And the second tip is for boys. If you are wearing your socks, it should be matching to your shoes or to your trousers, and it shouldn't be to your ankle length. It should be full length socks because that looks very bad when you're sitting and your trouser comes up from your ankle. It actually shows that gap between your socks and your leg and your trouser, sorry. So that gap is not very appealing to the interviewers. So you should try to wear long socks. So the another pro tip is for girls that keep your nails minimal as much as you can. It shouldn't be too long or it shouldn't be having very bright or shiny nail paint on it because it isn't very appealing to the interviewers. So just keep it minimal as much as you can. Have a light makeup, just don't put a lot of makeup on your face. It shouldn't look cakey. And you should not use very bright lipstick that is actually just being the focus of your face. It shouldn't be like that. Just keep a very light shade or a minimal shade lipstick that you have, and just do very minimal makeup. So this pro tip is for both boys and girls. Do your hair good. It shouldn't be very messy if you're entering the room. You should just go to the loo and check once if your hair is well tied up, or if you're in a ponytail or whatever it is. It shouldn't be very going everywhere. It should be very concisely there, and it should be very neat and clean, and you should not be wearing a wrinkly shirt because that is not very much appealing. It should be properly ironed, and your shoes must be polished. And for girls, it's a pro tip that you should definitely wear a closed toe shoes like bellies or pumps, whatever you have, because open toes are sometimes not much appealing again. These are the things that I have learned during my MB classes, and they taught us. So I think these tips might help you as well. So another pro tip, that don't smell bad, because we had a guest lecture and she was an HR in a company, and she came to us that on what basis they actually judge people. And she mentioned that smelling bad, people who are actually smelling bad are really something they not look for, because it really pisses the interview, to be very honest, if you're smelling bad. So if you're in Mumbai, it gets a bit hectic for you, and it a bit difficult for you to smell good because of rain and all the locals that you're traveling. So you should keep that in mind, because you should always smell good. And even if you're entering the room, you shouldn't just spray your deodorant just before entering the room, because they don't want to smell the alcohol in it. That immediately goes to their nose and it irritates them. That is what she told me. So you should not just do that as well. What you can do is just go to the loo before entering the interview room. Just spray the perfume on you and just then leave for the interview. 5 minutes before or 10 minutes before, you can spray on your body and then you can enter, because smelling good is very, very important. I use perfume every day, even if I'm not going for the interviews, but still, smelling good is something that one should keep in mind, be it girl, be it boy, it doesn't matter. So you should definitely smell good and focus on your smell. So these were the few pro tips that I shared with you, because these things actually helped me a lot with my interviews, and I hope this helps you too. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please consider it liking and subscribing if you really like it, and do share it with someone whose interviews are upcoming and you want to help them. Do share if you have something in the comments related to your interview, something that you messed up or something that actually helped you. So this can actually help a lot of us. And do drop me down in the comments what you want to see next. Until then, bye bye. Have a good day. Keep hustling.